Good morning, it's February 15th, and today we're going to be talking about the NFIB survey and small caps. Yesterday the survey had a lot of nuggets to digest related to the US economic outlook, even though everyone was really focused on the CPI print. So today we're going to delve a little bit into that as well as how it affects small caps. It's important to note that NFIB survey tends to lead headline CPI by about 3 months and core CPI about 8 months. ASR put together this nifty chart I'm going to show you here with the 3-month lag in the NFIB survey results versus the headline CPI. And although the latest survey points to lower headline inflation, if you take out the business optimism improvement, it was the 4th worst result in the past decade. And as per ASR, one of the lowest 10% of responses since 1975. So that's not great. And overall, fewer companies are expanding their businesses, increasing their CapEx, or doing what you'd expect them to be doing in a stronger economic environment. And big companies have had strong margins, as we pointed out before, and by outsourcing their CapEx and labor costs to the supply chain, smaller cap companies have been the beneficiaries. So if we're headed into recession or a near recession or rolling recession or whatever you want to call it, you can imagine what's going to happen to small caps. If their business goes down meaningful on the top line, so revenue is going down, and they tend to have much more leverage on profit margins as well as cash flow, because larger companies are going to keep that business, that capex down and or in-house. So with the small caps outperforming large caps this past year, we'd caution to think hard before staying on the investment train. Current multiples are expecting meaningful forward growth, but we know from past recessions that growth and margins for small caps fall hard. So now I'm going to turn over to the Longbow dashboard and show you where you can be looking at if you want to take a position, if you want to go long these small caps because you think the economy is going to be fine, or if you want to take the opposite perspective. So here on the Longbow dashboard, I'm giving you just 2 ETFs. I'm giving you the IWN, which is a Russell and equivalent, and then the RWM, which is the inverse ETF, meaning it's short the Russell names. And so here you can see that they're in the middle of their trading ranges. I have it on the KISS view. And you can see that the Russell's been bullish both short term and medium term. And the asymmetry is bullish. So the low end's been getting higher, but the high end has been getting lower. And right now, implied volatility for both of them is neutral, which kind of makes sense. But then you have opposite here for asymmetry. It's bearish on the inverse ETF. But then again, you see there's a higher low end of the trading range and a lower high end of the trading range. So these are both narrowing. So if we hop into the, let's just say the Russell 2000 ETF, you can see that here. So you had a much wider range here in January, then heading now into February, it's narrowing a lot. So people are trying to figure out what to do. And you'll see a similar situation with the inverse ETF, right? So again, you have like much wider ranges here, and now it's been narrowing. So if you wanted to be playing long small caps, obviously you'd be going long the Russell IWM, and you'd be looking for the low end of the trading range to buy in. And right now that looks like it's about 188.17 versus the last price is about 191 and change. But if you're looking to go short the Russell or protect your small cap positions, then you would be looking to buy in the inverse ETF, and that low end of the trading range is just shy of 22. So it's 21.88 versus the price right now is just over 22. And you have asymmetry on the upside for the IWM of 1.4 and downside here, it looks like 2.5. So again, here's 2 things you'd be monitoring if you wanted to play this. And given what we've looked at, the NFIB survey, and what we know of where the multiples are on small caps, you probably know where we'd be looking first. That's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.